In this video, we're going to learn how to create text using the Floriani Rainbow software. And so the first thing I'll do is click on a new and empty workspace to get started. And I'll just assume that you've never used the Floriani text tool before. And so that is the little red T that's over here. And with Floriani Rainbow, you get two options: horizontal text or circular text. And when you click on horizontal text, my mouse or cursor now has the little letter A attached to it, and when I click on the workspace, it will put down the letters My Text. Now that I've placed that down, if I look to the properties box, I can interact with those letters, and so obviously you're not meant to sew the words My Text, and so you can come in here and change the text to be whatever letters you want, and you click Apply. Now I made it say Rainbow. Now there are four letter styles that come with the software Floriani Rainbow. They are Andrew, Anniversary, Primer, and Rounded. And so if you choose any one of those, you can hover over to see what they look like, or select the one to update the results on your screen. You can interact sort of numerically with things like the size of the letters, or the line spacing, or the width of the letters, or the slant of the letters. And so notice that the word rounded even has options, and now I have the default style. I can get a run stitch outline style of those same letters. And so there are several different options when it comes down to making letters. But when you select one, so if I use my select tool to select lettering that's already been created, it becomes selected with a box around the outside, and I can tell that it's selected, and I can even use that box to transform the size of the letters or the location of them inside of our embroidery screen. And so if you maybe put a hoop on your screen and then you want to make sure that your embroidery fits within there, you can see how that can be helpful. Now, if I go back to, let's say, another letter style, it'll go back to the default sort of format, or filled in embroidery, but you can still go in and choose also. So two of them have outlines, it looks like, and one of them is a script, and one of them is just a satin regular kind only. Something that's interesting about lettering, so sometimes when you create letters, you may want to adjust the letter spacing and really just kind of finesse it to get it to be perfect. And so to do that, you would actually right click and ask for edit text mode. And when you're in edit text mode, you'll be able to tell you're in edit text mode because it has little handles, and you can use these handles to move those letters around to adjust the letter spacing. So a blue handle will adjust all of the letters after that blue handle. Where the gold handles will adjust one letter at a time. And so if you want to make one letter be, somehow in a different location than the rest of them, in fact, you can even create your own little custom, lettering arrangement in this way. And if you don't like what you've done, well, you also have the ability to use undo and undo and undo to put it all back. And when you select with the orange handles, you actually get a transformation box around that one letter that you could use to change its size or rotate it. And so it's a very powerful lettering program. It may only have 4 fonts, but if you love the way the lettering works in Rainbow, then you'll love the way it works with FTCU or Fusion or Lettering Master. So there's other programs that offer many, many more fonts and capabilities, but this is really just the beginnings of it. So there are so many things that we could learn about the lettering tool within Rainbow. And maybe perhaps the next thing we could look at is also when you go into the edit text mode, you can do what's known as enveloping. And so notice if I right click over top, it says the word envelope, and I could choose to do an envelope with a bridge with a concave bottom. And so it will basically change the word rainbow to be straight across the top and curved across the bottom. And if you don't like that, you can come in here and reset that frame back to the beginning. And in fact, it's actually just these center handles that does the enveloping, and so you can even kind of visually do it yourself to get them to be exactly where you want them to be. And you can really adjust. If you start out with like all capitals on a block font, so we'll put rainbow in the rounded font, and maybe just right click and tell it to reset the frame. So we start with kind of a standard arrangement of that. And so let's hide the hoop, zoom in on the word rainbow, and right click to go back to edit text mode, and then apply, instead of a bridge, do like a concave, or a pennant to the right. So see how it makes the left smaller and the right bigger? And you can make that even more dramatic just with those handles again. And so really, it's the corner handles that kind of give the perspective of a pennant, and it's the center handles that give the kind of curve to the bottom of the line like that. And essentially what you're doing is creating a shape, and then the letters fit inside of that shape. And so these are all functions of the lettering tool within Rainbow. And so there's more we can learn, and so perhaps watch the next video and I'll talk about how to use the circular text tool in the Rainbow software.